Hello and welcome back, noobs and noob slayers. What is up, guys? Diz Tactical here, and today we're going to be covering the new ARMA REFORGER update that is going to be bringing a lot of exciting things that people have been waiting for a long time, such as mortars, suppressors, and destructible buildings. Yes, also one of the biggest things as well in this update is going to be the server queue. I don't know how many times people have had to just sit there spamming to get in. It just reminds me of Ark Survival Evolved when it first came out, and you just had to sit there for hours. The most frustrating thing. But anyways, guys, enough sidetracking. Let's dive right into this dev report. So essentially what we're going to be going right off with is, yes, we know experimental updates and things like that, but just like I covered, the server queue. Now, it's been very exciting because look at this. If there are too many other players also waiting, you get a ticket. So that's cool. No more spam clicking. That's very simple. Oh my god, I don't know why they didn't just implement this so much sooner. Like, it is something that is a necessity for every single game. I just don't know why developers don't just put it in right away. Next up here is, again, something that people have been waiting for a long time, especially for people who go in deep behind enemy lines and do partisan operations or just back cap. It is the suppressors available for the M16 carbine, the M16, AK-74, and AKS-74U rifles. What this does also is it makes it so AI detection for suppressed weapons is reduced. And honestly, that's huge, because AI sometimes can be, it's hit or miss. ARMA 3, they're a little bit better, but on this game, it's either they're Chris Kyle or there's some random blind Taliban up in the mountains called Single Shot Freddy.
I have a feeling he's a blind Afghan man.
Now, the new tutorial is really cool. What it does is kind of just let you know some basic stuff. Field manual kind of gets you the guide going, blah, blah, blah. My newbies, you'll just go ahead and check out my my tips video that are coming about shortly. Next up here, which is very important, is over encumbrance. So what this means is you're now going to be punished for filling your backpack up like you're literally going to go camping in the woods for a week and solo the entire army by yourself. It's honestly, people like that are the most annoying people. They just spend too much tickets and just supplies with their kits. I'm glad they're punishing people. In addition to this, hurt legs trigger harder landing animations after falls. That means if you're going to jump over a wall, you're probably going to end up staggered a little bit longer, and it's going to give, Slavic guy with an AK or angry redneck time to shoot you in the face. Wow, I struggled there trying to figure out a Russian name, Igor. But anyways, grass rendering distance has been increased. That's actually really good because people like to sometimes do this thing where you can see the grass. I very much appreciate that. Vehicles now feature destructible lights. It's also very cool because at nighttime you're able, now with the suppressors, you're going to be able to shoot out the lights of cars, and it's going to make it way harder for the people without night vision. Say if a base is struggling with supplies, they need to use basic kits. It's going to be really good. The including lean functionality, this is actually really good. It's a quality of life. Not too gonna get into it. Next up here we have Kolgaev. Yeah, it's a legendary terrain from ARMA Cold War. I actually don't know too much about it. Now, what this means is we might have some sparse operations, but if it's like the one in the ARMA 3 mod, we are gonna have some very sparse contact. But overall, I think if they do a really good job at balancing this, that is one thing ARMA vanilla servers kind of struggle with, is that constant contact. Next up here, one of the biggest things that is really exciting is building and tree destruction. They're going to be testing out a little bit, and their main reasoning behind this of not doing it is because of their old system, which when it came to memory. So essentially, their previous system, it would be a certain amount of bytes for the trees. However, if they made them destructible, it would have been an additional 300 more bytes, which then would have essentially made it like a lot larger. And again, that doesn't seem like a lot, but honestly, I'm kind of glad. Good on them. I'm glad they've actually come up with a new destruction type manager to allow it so entities can be inside of here and not really kind of tank the systems. This is really cool, as it also allows for the entity like houses as well, similar system of destruction. Really exciting. I have very low expectations for this because I think it's probably just gonna be like ARMA 3's, nothing really too fancy on that, but still very exciting. Now you're actually gonna be very cautious when inside of buildings and an RPG comes flying through. Next next up here, we again can see the tree destruction. That actually looks really beautiful. If you want to kind of set up an LZ, this is going to make it so gameplay replayability is going to be so different. And it's, yeah, next up is helicopter offensive weapons. This is amazing because people have been waiting so long to use these for rocket pods, as well as just simply the machine guns on them instead of having people hop on the sides. Been very annoying. Now, everyone needs to also pretty much understand the differences between the UH-1 Huey and also the Mi-8. The Huey obviously is really good at agility and precision, but lacks that firepower. The Mi-8 was historically known for its devastating rocket pods, as well as being able to drop its troops off after, which again, people in game don't really understand, but it's really cool to see that we're actually getting something that should have been at the game at the beginning. Now, it's going to be really also cool. We see basically with the modded servers, as you can see, this is how you're going to be able to load the rocket pods. You just attach them like so, and there's going to be looks of it. I don't know how many different types of rockets there'll be, but this is going to be pretty exciting to see overall, and I don't know why ARMA keeps doing that. But yeah, that's really cool to see. Not a whole lot of... Oh, this is really cool too. I forgot to mention this. They actually are going to make it so grouping where you can actually switch between weapon modes. That's really good for the fact of modders, so they can have that multiple weapon cycling for modded helicopters. Next up here is the mortars. This is really, really cool. I'm going to give them props for this. They did a really good job with the mortar shooting, and honestly, all the animations are really cool. Like, look at this. Just grab it out of your hand, then you go, and you can actually put the charge rings. What this is really cool of a unique feature is it's used for different munitions, such as illumination or white phosphorus or different types of HE explosions. And look at that. That's so cool. That animation is so cool. Now, are we going to see a really nice impact? Oh my god, and the delay. That was really cool. Now, next up here, we're going to have mortar aiming. This is very interesting because it does have the mills as well as practice rounds. That's actually, sorry, I just read that. But as you can see here, you can see the mills that you're going on the right side, and the left side your elevation. I am not really too familiar with how artillery works in most games like this because I am a brain dead monkey. Next up here is, again, the shell types. Really, really cool. Again, high explosive illumination, smoke. Okay, so I'm sorry, no white phosphorus, but actually the smoke, I believe, would be similar to red, but it's not. It's semantics. And again, the charge rings and fuse timers. There are fuse timers for, again, illumination shells, which are really cool. Or if you want to try getting like having like airburst mortar rounds where they blow up before hitting the ground, just above people's heads. That would, very cool. Now we're gonna be showing you the charge rings and fuse timers. Again, very cool. You can kind of drag and drop from the arsenal, and it's cool in there. If you hadn't noticed, there's also a little book that you can use to essentially read the like basically the guide of like, oh hey, this is how much damage it does and things like that. That was cool. Now, are we gonna see another one where they change it once more? Okay, I like the charge rings. And now we're setting a fuse timer. Okay, this is really cool. I wonder if we'll be able to see it in the sky, or are they just gonna cut it early? I really hope that we can see an illumination up in the eye, up in the sky here. Is that? It's been. I mean, it's very. No. Okay, cool. We just got teased pretty hard. So the next up, this is really cool of a realism feature. They're going to add consequences. So if you're standing too close or firing too rapidly, this is what's going to happen, just like real life. See that? Not too much of a damage taken there. You're all good. And now what's going to happen if we do it again? See? All good. And then I'm curious what's going to happen. Like, how fast of a cycling would that be? Okay, that's... Alright, so you do have to slow it down in a straight uncon. Okay, so I'm curious if you actually have any severe injuries from that or not. And then, let's see... Is this going to show the overall range of said... I believe so. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty decent size right there. I mean, that's also good. And then we got mortar recoil here. What type of mortar recoil? I'm just very curious on that. Oh, okay, that's actually... and then we also got ballistic data, again, as I told you. Oh, sorry, it is ballistics data, which is really cool. That's really honestly about it on here. And then just AI usage of mortars, which is pretty cool. And then one last thing, which is a huge quality of life, is map improvements. I don't know why, again, they didn't add this so much sooner, but look at this. Being able to actually like call out your grid reference, it's going to be so much easier to find your teammates and do land nav. Like, I just don't know why that wasn't in so much earlier. And then they have a protractor as well if you want to be able to do some other stuff when it comes to land nav as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And see you on the battlefield. Until next time.